It's finally here, folks. The 2024 schedule for the Houston Texans has been released. We'll be breaking it down week by week on today's show. But before we get into it, go ahead and predict the Texans' record for this season. How do you think the Texans are going to fare this year? A little bit tougher schedule, actually. I believe the third or fourth hardest schedule in the NFL. So go down in the comment section. Predict the Texans' record before we get going. Today's video is presented by Game Time. Last second tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Go check them out. Go to Game Time and get $20 off your first purchase when you use code CHATSPORTS. Terms do apply. We'll break that down a little bit more on today's show. But while this intro rolls, let me know your record prediction for the Houston Texans. Hey, the Super Bowl always starts somewhere, and for us, it starts right here with the record prediction and the schedule release for the Houston Texans. And let's just get right into the nitty-gritty, the Texans schedule this season. Week 1 at the Colts, then we play Sunday Night Football against the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Then week 3, we're going on the road to the Minnesota Vikings, and then week 4 at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going on to the next 4 weeks. At home against the Buffalo Bills, away against the Patriots, away against the Packers, at home against the Colts. Then have 3 straight primetime games. Halloween against the Jets, then Sunday Night Football against the Lions, and then Monday Night Football in Jerry World against the Dallas Cowboys. Then we play 2 division foes against the Titans, then at the Jaguars. Week 14 by a very critical, I think perfectly placed bye for the Houston Texans before this gauntlet of a 3-week matchup against the Dolphins, at the Chiefs on a Saturday game, and then against the Ravens on Christmas Day, one of the Netflix games that's going to be broadcasted this year. And then week 18, wrapping it up against the Tennessee Titans. And speaking of the Tennessee Titans, the wannabe Houston Oilers, as I like to call them. Now, I do not like the Tennessee Titans. I do not like them whatsoever. But for this month, they are currently beating us in subs added. So let's change that right now. We're a little bit behind. We're at 435 subs. They're at 512 subs added this month. Let's kick their ass. I don't want to lose to the Titans, and I know you don't either. So if you haven't subbed already, go down and hit that sub button. Go to youtube.com/TexansTV for free daily videos around the Houston Texans. Don't let me lose to the Tennessee Titans. This joke of an organization, this joke of a franchise. Don't let me do it. Don't let me down. Go down and hit that sub button right now. And speaking of division foes, let's get right into it. Week 1 against the Colts. And there's been a little bit of chatter going back and forth. Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin said, hey, C.J. Stroud's never beaten Anthony Richardson, which is true. He got injured in the first half of that game where the Colts ended up winning early last season against the Texans. But we'll have that week 1 matchup. I'm absolutely pumped to see C.J. Stroud versus Anthony Richardson week 1. And then week 2, another young QB duel. The number 1 pick, Caleb Williams, against C.J. Stroud. Who is going to come out on top in that matchup? And I'm actually going to make that the Game Time featured matchup of today's video. We have the number 2 pick from last year, C.J. Stroud. The number 1 pick in this year in Caleb Williams. And these 2 wide receiver cores have been, highly debated. Who is the number 1 receiving core in the NFL? Is it the Houston Texans with Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stefon Diggs? Or is it the Bears with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze? Either way, you'll be able to check this game out with our friends over at Game Time. I've been using Game Time for a while now, and it's my go-to ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, comedy shows. I've been able to see amazing comedians like Shane Gillis, Dave Chappelle, and then I've also been able to go to concerts like Drake and Adele, and been able to go to some Astros games as well. You can do all that. Don't miss out on any of the fun when you use Game Time, the best last-second ticket app. Buy tickets in seconds with just 2 taps. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-second tickets. I'm telling you, it's the best place on the internet to go check out last-second tickets. If you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to go to a Texans game. I don't know if it might be too expensive. Wait, give it a little bit of time, and then you can check the Game Time app right before the game starts. You can check out, if there's any deals, if there's anybody trying to sell tickets last second, and you can get some amazing deals. And when you use our code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but when you go check out the Game Time app today, you can go check out, not only the football games, even in the offseason. Like I said, you can go to comedy shows. You can go to the best concerts in your area. And if you're traveling this summer, you can also set to wherever city you're going to. If you're going to Las Vegas, if you're going to New York, if you're going to check out LA, you can set those cities as well. Go check them out today. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. Going into week 3, we are on the road at the Minnesota Vikings. I think this should be a, pretty good game for the Houston Texans, a good matchup because it's either going to be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy. Either way, you're going to have the upper hand with C.J. Stroud. That should be not any game's going to be a gimme, but that might be a little bit of an easier game on your schedule when you have the third hardest schedule in the NFL. Then week 4, you're facing Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, a home game for the Houston Texans. This could be another, sneaky game where it's a test against another AFC South foe. I think the Texans could have their money, for them in this game. Maybe a trap game before week 5 and the Buffalo Bills. They're coming to Houston. Josh Allen, the Stefon Diggs revenge game right there. Week 5 against the Buffalo Bills. That should be a decent matchup. Week 6 at the New England Patriots, their new quarterback. Will he start Drake May? They'll be in Foxborough for that matchup. Thank God it's not Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That's all I'm saying. For once in my life, the Patriots are not a juggernaut. So I'm glad to go to Foxborough week 6 if I'm the Houston Texans. Then week 7, another matchup with a young quarterback in Jordan Love. The Texans are going to be going to Lambeau facing the Packers in week 7. And then rounding out their last game against the Colts this season is week 8, then where the Colts are going to be coming to Houston to play. Could be a really good matchup. Once again, I'm really interested to see how Anthony Richardson plays this year. We didn't really see a lot of him. The amount that we did see, he was really good in Shane Steichen's offense. So I'm really, really, having an eye out for this Colts team, this Colts offense. A lot of people say the Jags are the biggest threat to the Texans in the AFC South. I don't know. It might be that team in Indy. Now, going into week 9, spooky Thursday night football, Halloween against the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. This is going to kick off a 3-week stretch of primetime games for the Houston Texans because after week 9, then they play against the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football in H-Town. That'll be a really good matchup before their next primetime game where they just go up I-45 to Dallas and play in Jerry World. Well, should I say, actually, they'll play in Arlington at Jerry World against the Dallas Cowboys. The battle for Texas is always an amazing one. I think these two teams should play every year. I know a lot of you Texans fans have friends, have family members that are Cowboys fans. So I want to hear from you folks at home right now. Who you got in this matchup? Is it the Dallas Cowboys or the Houston Texans? Type HOU for the Houston Texans. Type DAL for the Dallas Cowboys. Stick it to those Cowboys fans. I know if you live in Texas, you have at least one family member, one friend that's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and they're probably insufferable. So go down and type those HOUs right now to show them who's boss as we get into Week 12 against the Tennessee Titans. Maybe the easiest AFC South foe, knock on wood, that we'll face this year. And speaking of the AFC South, then you face the Jaguars for a second time in Jacksonville, Week 13. That should be a good matchup. And I was really hoping, there was rumors that, the Texans might get a Week 6 bye, and I absolutely hated it. I wanted the Week 14 bye, and the NFL gods, they delivered because they need this bye desperately. I'm telling you, they need this bye desperately because I'm going to show you these next 3 games, and it is no cakewalk. Week 15, you play against the Miami Dolphins in Houston. Could be, another prolific offense. They were one of the best offenses in all of football last year with Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. That offense has a lot of speed, so that could be a really good test for this Texans defense to see if they're ready and up to the task. Then you play the defending Super Bowl champions Week 16 at Arrowhead in Kansas City. This is going to be a Saturday game, by the way, because they play Week 17 against the Baltimore Ravens on Christmas Day. Once again, this is going to be one of the Netflix games, the first Netflix games that are going to be broadcasted by the NFL. A rematch of that playoff game last year where the Texans lost to the Ravens in the divisional round. They'll have their chance for a little bit of revenge against the Flock there. And then Week 18, rounding it out in Tennessee against the Tennessee Titans, the Tennessee Oilers. Actually, not the Oilers. The Tennessee Titans. They're not the Oilers. No way, no how. But this begs the question, because I said I think the Colts might be the biggest competition for the AFC South Title. I think the Titans might be the easiest team to face. What say you, though? What is the biggest competition for the AFC South Title this year? Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think it's the Jags? Do you think it's the Colts? You think maybe it's the Titans? Let me know down in the comment section. Once again, go down and hit that sub button if you haven't already for daily Texans videos. We're the fastest growing Texans channel on YouTube for good reason, because we give you free content every single day and the best, most informative channel here on YouTube for your Houston Texans.